yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Beat in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab it and taste it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. Take the fate to see. Rage is like the wind.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the greatest fucking show on earth, as we are streaming live on 4 different platforms across 4 different accounts. If you don't know who I am, well, please allow me to reintroduce myself. They call me Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn X, formerly known as Twitter, handle known to mankind. And this is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday, September 21st, 2024. Thank you all for stopping on by. I see Margarita has decided to join in. She is the first one to comment. Thank you very much for stopping on by. I greatly appreciate you, and I hope that you're having a good weekend so far. Very pleased to see that you would drop in for another great conversation on a Saturday about professional wrestling. And like usual, we do indeed have a lot to talk about, including Miro apparently requesting his release from AEW. We do have an update on Kevin Owens' WWE contract, and AEW potentially looking to make him an offer should he become available. The AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery deal is more than likely going to include pay-per-views on HBO Max. AJ Styles, where is AJ Styles? We're going to talk about AJ Styles because he has not been seen since Clash at the Castle. AEW Shockwave could very well mean the cancellation of AEW Rampage. Adam Cole and Julia Hart could be coming back to AEW TV sooner rather than later. And we got a major report from WrestleVotes Radio stating that SmackDown could very well be expanding to 3 hours for a temporary time period on the USA Network after Raw transitions over to Netflix. We're also going to go over Monday Night Raw and AEW Dynamite. I did not watch SmackDown and I did not watch Rampage last night specifically because I was in Totowa, New Jersey. at the Totowa PAL for ISPW's Pandemonium at the PAL. We had a lot of great professional wrestling on that show. Crowbar and Danny Moff, they fought in a street fight. We had the Neon Ninja Facade. He took on Ray Kalitri, the Shining Star. Had a great conversation with Facade. Facade, if you're watching this, thank you very much for the great conversation. Also, Vicious Vicky retained the ISPW Women's title over Danny Moe, and the main event saw Rick Recon versus GKM for the ISPW World Heavyweight Championship in a title versus career, no holds barred match. And GKM is finally the World Heavyweight Champion, and no one is going to be taking it away from him. An excellent, excellent moment. Very fun show. Very pleased with everyone that put themselves out there and gave us one hell of a show. I will be uploading my vlog from ISPW Pandemonium at the PAL on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. That will go live. Thank you very much to Micah and Seth Cortez of The Audacity for enjoying the video package that I made, of the custom entrance video that I created for them. Usually when my creative juices get flowing, I just put it out there. I go out, get a few clips, mix them together, put that audio over it, and you know what? It always ends up coming out looking fucking gorgeous. And that's the exact same thing that happened with the Audacity custom entrance video. If you missed it, go and watch it. Can't wait to see the Audacity next month, because the Audacity, they got a date with the Now at my show on October 19th. Battle in the Borough, of course. Get your tickets right now. We're going to go over everything. We're going to go over everything, and I will catch up on SmackDown, Rampage, and of course, we got Collision tonight. I, of course, will be watching. But before we get into what we're going to get into, obviously, I do have some things to go through, and that is, of course, the self-brand promotion and the advertisements. Let me take a sip of my ice water. Needed that. So, if you guys have not already done so, please make sure you do a few things for me. First of all, follow me on social media at HistoryMakerDJS. That is at HistoryMakerDJS on all platforms of social media, specifically X and Instagram, because I make history in everything that I do. You can go and follow me there. You can also add me on my personal Facebook for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Please make sure you like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook, that is. All those links are in the description. You can also check me out on Rumble. We are live on Rumble as we speak, looking to build a nice, solid fan base over on the Rumble app. And of course, be sure to share the stream out, like the stream, no matter what platform you're watching it on, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on X, whether it be on Rumble, or whether it be on YouTube. It is incredibly vital that you share the stream out. Get as many people in here as you possibly can. And of course, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so, hit the notifications bell with a huge coup de grace, and that way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, you already know it is the best motherfucking time to be on YouTube, because it is the only time that you are going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. Of course, get your DJ Storms merch, whether it be wristbands, whether it be t-shirts, or whether it be the greatest piece of merch that you will ever own, the DJ Storms Switchblade comb. And just like me, you could be so good. You could be scrumptious, tasty. You could be the most delicious snack in the IWC. And just like everyone wants a piece of the Stormsmeister, everyone's going to want a piece of you. Look at how fucking on fleek my pompadour is. I'm telling you. I am telling you. I am just too damn good. Whenever I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror, I'm not feeling like P. Diddy because, of course, we already know what happened with P. Diddy, so fuck him. But when I wake up in the morning, you know what I do? I look in the mirror and I say, damn, is that what I look like? I am one sexy motherfucker. Anyway, before we get into the festivities here, I would like to shout out a couple of new sponsorships. That is right. Battle in the Borough is still gaining traction, and they're still gaining sponsorships. The newest sponsorship recently just came on board today, and I had a sandwich from this place today. Taste of Italia here in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. They have been around for 30 plus years, and they got themselves some phenomenal Italian cuisine. You guys are looking for some quality Italian specialties. Taste of Italia is the place for you. And if you don't believe me now, trust me, you'll believe me after you hear this word from your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. And if you guys are in the mood for some mouth-watering Italian specialties, I'll tell you where to go. You see, there's boring delis, there's overrated sandwich shop chains, and then there's Taste of Italia. Since 1993, Mike Rogan's Taste of Italia has been the go-to place in Bergen County for hot and cold subs, wraps, pasta, and so much more. Whether you just need a quick lunch, meal for the family, or top shelf catering for your office function, you know that you're always going to get the best from Taste of Italia. So come on in, see Mike and his team of sandwich craftsmen as they celebrate 30 plus years of eating excellence. Taste of Italia, still the best thing between sliced bread. That is good. By the way, that was from today. Just so you know, that was from today, and my God, that sandwich was fucking phenomenal. Thank you very much to Mike Rogan and all of the employees over at Taste of Italia for sponsoring Battle in the Borough and the DJ Storms brand. And I'd like to shout out America's Pastime baseball and sports memorabilia store in Elmwood Park, New Jersey, right here in Bergen County. Thank you very much to Rich Budnick. He has been around since 1989 with America's Pastime. They got some of the best sports memorabilia, whether you want baseball cards, football cards, hockey cards, or autographed jerseys and sporting equipment items for any generation of fans. I'm telling you, you're going to want to take a spin over to America's Pastime. If you don't believe me, like I said, just sit back and listen to this word from DJ Shizzle Dizzle telling you why you should go on over to America's Pastime. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I got a question for you guys. You ever wish you can go back and relive some of those great sports memories of your favorite player or team from when you were a kid? Well, now you can by paying a visit to America's Pastime. Now, since 1989, America's Pastime has been the premier sports memorabilia store in the tri-state area. Conveniently located just 20 minutes away from the George Washington Bridge, right here in Bergen County, New Jersey, America's Pastime has a vast inventory of collectibles spanning close to 100 years. They carry vintage and current baseball, football, basketball, and hockey cards, as well as autographed items for any generation of fans. And their roster is matched only by the quality of their collection. And with thousands of happy online customers since 2003, America's Pastime is a perennial all-star in this game. So whether you're just getting into sports collectibles for the first time ever, or you're a serious buyer focused on quality sports memorabilia, you can come on in and see my friend Rich Budnick, and he'll show you the things that you never even dreamed were available to you.
Now, we don't always wear sunglasses here at America's Pastime, so I'm going to take mine off. We carry vintage and modern cards for our customers. I promise you'll get service with a smile, and you'll see some very interesting things here at my store, America's Pastime. We've been in business for 36 years. We've had a retail store for 36 years. We carry supplies. We carry commons and minor stars, as well as wax boxes and packs. You're going to come in here, and you're going to get choices. So come on over and check us out if you haven't for the first time. And if you have, come on back and see all this beautiful vintage and modern cards that we carry. Jackie Robinson, Ty Cobb, Roberto Clemente. How about that?
America's Pastime, where your favorite sports memories come back to life. And your favorite sports memories will indeed come back to life over at America's Pastime. Thank you very much to Rich Budnick for being an official sponsor of Battle in the Borough, and of course an official sponsor of the DJ Storms brand. And before we move on, I'd like to shout out one final sponsor for now, and that would be Juicy Platters. Juicy Platters, they serve up some fantastic Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cuisine, and they got a Fair Lawn, New Jersey location, very, very close to me and close to all of the residents of Elmwood Park and Fair Lawn. If you guys want some quality Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cuisine, you should go and take a spin on over to Juicy Platters. Why? Here's why. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about a very special place that I go to eat. You see, when I'm sick of the tired old pizza dishes and the played out Chinese food dishes, I go and take a spin on over to Juicy Platters. And you see, Juicy Platters is an exciting, fast-growing brand focused on great people, great food, and of course, great culture. Since 2011, they've been serving up Mediterranean-inspired offerings made with halal ingredients. And their mission is to spread love through stellar guest experiences and delicious food. From rice, to chicken, to veggies, they layer fresh flavors with colorful spices and sauces made from the Mediterranean and the Middle East to create vibrant and unforgettable dishes. Here, they believe that the food should excite all of your senses. So come on in, see my friend John Diaz and all of the great team members right here at their Fairlawn, New Jersey location. Juicy Platters. This is the food that your soul craves. Trust me when I tell you, your soul will indeed crave some Juicy Platters. Thank you very much to John Diaz and all of the team members over at Juicy Platters for being an official sponsor of Battle in the Borough and, of course, the DJ Storms brand. Now then, why don't we get into the festivities over here? Let's start off with the news, rumors, and reports. The first report, according to Fightful Select, Kevin Owens has been approached regarding a new WWE contract. His contract apparently is expiring at some point in time within the next 4 to 6 months. And it is reported that AEW is expected to make Kevin Owens a big offer if he does become available. Now, I've seen a bunch of conversations about Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens re-signed with the WWE back when AEW was at its peak. And he re-signed with the WWE specifically because of the fact that he has a family. He wanted to sign for his family. But now AEW is offering bigger contracts for the bigger stars. The main question here for Kevin Owens is, what is his desire? What is Kevin Owens' desire, and where exactly does he want to see himself in the next few years? Now, I said that it all depends on how his body holds up. And that is true. Is WWE going to offer Kevin Owens a lighter schedule? Now listen, the WWE style isn't as crazy and over the top as AEW, but AEW does offer a lighter schedule. Can't really say the same about the WWE. When it comes to the WWE, you're working the weekly shows that are on TV, and then you're working like at least 2 house shows a week, sometimes even 3. And we're talking about the main stars. And Kevin Owens, clear as day, Kevin Owens has become a main star in the WWE. He's done everything there is to do in the WWE. He's been a world champion. He's been an intercontinental champion. He's been a United States champion. He's main evented WrestleMania twice. He's been a tag team champion. He's competed against and with his best friend, Sami Zayn, at some of the biggest pay-per-views that you could imagine. He was involved in the biggest storyline that WWE has ever produced since the Yes Movement, and that was the Bloodline angle with Sami Zayn heading into WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles. So after everything that's gone on, what exactly does Kevin Owens want to do? The only reason why Kevin Owens would stay in the WWE is because he's comfortable and he's used to it. It's because of his family. Now, if Kevin Owens really wants to go out, branch out, and really become a standout in the wrestling world, because right now Kevin Owens doesn't stand out. Kevin Owens is not standing out. Kevin Owens hasn't stood out since the Bloodline storyline with Roman Reigns ended. Ever since the whole issue with Sami Zayn and Sami leaving the Bloodline and then Kevin Owens and Sami winning the tag team titles, ever since that concluded, Kevin Owens has not stood out. Triple H took Kevin Owens and made him a standout on TV. Now, there is no standout for Kevin Owens on TV. Kevin Owens is just another guy. Kevin Owens is a guy that is being used, essentially, as a glorified enhancement talent. And, I really do hate calling people that. I do. I hate calling people that, but that's what Kevin Owens is. Kevin Owens' biggest accomplishment this year was fighting Cody Rhodes at Bash in Berlin and delivering one of WWE's best matches of the year so far with Cody Rhodes at Bash in Berlin just a couple weeks ago. That is the biggest highlight of Kevin Owens 2024. Kevin Owens has done nothing of note this year. He's had a couple good matches here and there, But ultimately, does anyone remember anything that Kevin Owens has done this year, minus that match with Cody Rhodes? Now, I remember he competed for the U.S. Championship at WrestleMania against Logan Paul and Randy Orton. But outside of that, Kevin Owens has pretty much seen his day on top. They've been having Kevin Owens go back and forth with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory all year. I could literally count on my hands and my toes plus extra how many times we have seen a Kevin Owens versus A-Town Down Under match in some way, shape, or form. We saw it in March. We saw it in April. We've seen it in August. We've seen it in September. They've been going back and forth and back and forth. That's pretty much what Kevin Owens has been doing. He's either been feuding with A-Town Down Under or he's been feuding with the Bloodline. That's it. That's all Kevin Owens has been doing this year. Now, if he goes to AEW, I'm not saying that he will, but if he does, he's going to reap the benefits of being a standout professional wrestler. Because the AEW fan base, they want professional wrestling. That's what AEW caters to. They cater to the professional wrestling fans that want professional wrestling matches. Ricochet is already reaping the benefits. Every single time we've seen Ricochet on TV, he's putting on matches that were better than his last. The match with Sammy was better than Kyle Fletcher. The match with the Beast Mortos was better than both of those matches. Can you imagine what he's going to do with Will Ospreay at the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite? No, I don't think that he should have booked that match. I don't think he should have booked that match this early at all. However, I'm going to be sitting back and I'm going to be watching that match fully intent on expecting a banger, a 5-star classic. Kevin Owens could very well be in that position. And if anything, Kevin Owens, I've seen people throw this around. With Adam Cole coming back, Kevin Owens potentially going to AEW, depends on what he wants to do. If Kevin Owens goes to AEW, there's a chance that we could see Mount Rushmore reunited. I remember in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, we had the Young Bucks, Kevin Owens, and Adam Cole in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. That was before Kevin Owens went to the WWE. That right there would be fucking huge. If they were to do something along those lines, that would be fucking great. Now, again, it all depends on what they want to do. Obviously, Kevin Owens may not be too keen on going to AEW, even with the lighter schedule, simply because of the fact that Tony Khan is extremely disorganized half the time. Half the shows that we've seen this year, maybe even a little bit more than half of the shows that we've seen this year, have been very topsy-turvy. They've been all over the place. That's probably been one of AEW's biggest problems, is the fact that they're not organized. Half the time, some shows are very well organized. Some shows, they flow incredibly well. They have the right amount of matches. They have the right amount of promo segments. Each segment and each match gets the proper amount of time. There's a sense of importance for all of these shows, and it comes off great. And then other times, it's like Tony Khan doesn't even know what he wants to do, and he's literally flying by the seat of his pants. That's the biggest problem right there with AEW. Minus their marketing, they've been very inconsistent this year. They're like a roller coaster. They're here, they're there. They're up, they're down. They're hither, they're yon. So what does Kevin Owens really want? That's what it ultimately comes down to. If he stays with WWE, he will go nowhere. The only reason why he would stay in WWE is because of his family. Because it's comfortable for him. He's known about the system. He doesn't really have to do too much. And ultimately, his family is well compensated and they have a good life. Now, he could still get that from Tony Khan, but if you're going to go to AEW, you best turn that volume, that wrestling switch, you better turn that shit all the way up to 11, because if you don't, then ultimately you shouldn't even be in AEW. It all depends what he wants to do. Do I think that he goes to AEW? Probably not. Is there a chance? Of course there's a chance. Of course there is a chance. You can't just expect everyone that WWE offers a contract to take it. Ricochet didn't take it. What makes you think that Kevin Owens is 100% going to take it? He's not. There's no guarantee. Do I think he is? Probably. But I really would love if people stop with this, oh yeah, this guy's definitely going to stay, or this guy's definitely going to leave. Besides, with all of these people coming in, with all these new people coming in, I don't understand why anyone would be 100% relaxed or 100% trustworthy of Triple H when you got the potential of the Lucha Bros coming in, potentially Jordan Grace coming in after a contract is done. Daniel Garcia, he still hasn't signed a new deal, and WWE's chopping at the bit to get Daniel Garcia because they want to fucking put him in NXT and make him a fucking standout. Seriously. So you know for a fact that WWE's chomping at the bit to get all these free agents. What's going to happen when that roster is loaded with free agents? What do you think is going to happen then? WWE is going to get oversaturated, and there's not going to be a lot of room for a lot of people on WWE TV either. We'll see what happens. Speaking of the Lucha Bros, at this very moment, the Lucha Bros are still under AEW contract. However, I got a report from WrestleVotes Radio. WrestleVotes Radio, they stated that the Lucha Bros signing with the WWE is likely a done deal, as the production of masks, t-shirts, and other promotional materials is currently underway. Now, I've talked about this numerous amounts of times, and I'm going to state it again for anyone that didn't get the memo the first time around. I will always be an advocate for the Lucha Bros. The Lucha Bros are fucking great. The Lucha Bros are awesome. And I don't mind them leaving AEW. I don't. I really don't. Because at this stage of the game, there's really nothing more for them to do in AEW. If they want to leave and they want to experiment and they want to go to WWE just to round out their careers, because they are getting up there in age and you're not going to be able to work that style forever. I think Penta is over 40 and Rey Fenix is approaching 40. You can't work that super chaotic, super quick style forever. Obviously, we're going to get some great material from the Lucha Bros, but ultimately, when it comes down to it all, the Lucha Bros going to WWE, they're going to WWE to round out their careers, say that they were in all these promotions, including WWE. They're going to have a full career, and it's probably to help their body, because the WWE style, I don't really want to call it weaker, but the WWE style is weaker than the AEW style. AEW style is more gritty. AEW style is more in your face. AEW style is more of a professional wrestling style for the real professional wrestling fans. WWE does not put pro wrestling first. They put pro wrestling second or third, which is pretty fucking pathetic. And WWE could really benefit from a pro wrestling first mantra, but they don't do that. But the Lucha Bros going to the WWE, this isn't a bad thing whatsoever. Like I said, from a health perspective, if they want to slow the pace down and treat their bodies a little bit better, and they want to give their bodies a break from that high-octane style, number one. Number two, there's really nothing more for them to do in AEW as a team, as a unit, and they're not going to be pushed as single stars. And then number three, to have a full, well-rounded career. So I don't mind that they're leaving AEW. I don't. If anything, AEW could benefit from some people leaving. They could benefit from some people leaving because they got way too much fucking talent as it is. At least too much talent for Tony Khan to keep track of single-handedly. However, the question, and I'm going to continue to ask this question, and I don't see enough people asking it. I really wish people would open their fucking eyes and think for a little bit. Do you have confidence that the WWE will do right by the Lucha Bros? Because I'm going to be quite honest with you, I don't. WWE is not giving you any reason whatsoever to be confident in them when it comes to the luchador style professional wrestling, like a Rey Fenix, like a Penta, like people like Commander or Hologram, those types of individuals. I mean, how many Latinos do they have right now in WWE? Look at all the Latino wrestlers in WWE. How many of them right now have broken out? How many of them stand out? How many of them are in good positions? How many of them are actually in meaningful programs? The answer is none. Andrade recently just lost a United States Championship match, and he's been going back and forth with Carmelo Hayes for about 2 months now. Now, granted, the matches that they've been putting on are great. The matches they've been putting on are great, but I mean, holy fuck, we've seen 5 matches from Carmelo Hayes and Andrade within the course of a 7 to 8 week time period. How many times do we need to see the same match on SmackDown? Seriously. We've seen it over and over and over and over again. And on top of that, it looks like, based on what I saw last night with a little backstage segment with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, it looks like that they're going to be continuing the feud. It looks like they're going to be continuing the program. So now we're going to get potentially a 6th match. Now we're going to get potentially a 7th match, maybe an 8th match. How many times do we need to see the same matches over and over and over again? WWE took a great thing, and now they're just plunging it down everyone's throats because they have no long-term plans for Andrade or Carmelo Hayes. What about Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma? What the fuck are they doing with them? Escobar had something going for himself. He had a very good undercard feud with Rey Mysterio heading into WrestleMania 40. They wasted the match on SmackDown, and then they gave you a tag team match that was better suited for a house show. They gave you a tag team match at WrestleMania with Santos, Dominic, Andrade, and Rey Mysterio, a match that no one fucking remembers. I'm pretty sure a lot of you even forgot that that match was even on WrestleMania's card. Andrade, Escobar, Legado del Fantasma, they're doing nothing of importance. Rey Mysterio, he's a made man, so Rey Mysterio doesn't really need to worry about looking good. Rey Mysterio's had a career. But look at the people that are surrounding Rey Mysterio. Is the LWO in any better of a position than they were when they were initially feuding with the Judgment Day back in 2023? Does anyone even give a fuck about the LWO? Does anyone? Because I have not seen one individual, whenever we talk about WWE programming, no individual is talking about, oh my God, did you see what the LWO were doing on this night? No, everyone's either talking about Rhea Ripley, everyone's either talking about Damian Priest and Finn Balor, they're talking about Gunther, or they're talking about Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. No one gives a fuck about the LWO. And Dragon Lee is a part of that faction. Can you imagine that? Dragon Lee of all fucking people, Dragon Lee, who signed with the WWE back in December of 2022. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Dragon Lee, he has done absolutely nothing of importance. He is approaching 2 years. 2 years signing with the WWE. 2 whole years. And in 2 years, the man has accumulated absolutely nothing of value. All he has to showcase for himself is a measly NXT North American title reign that barely lasted 30 days. He dropped it to Obafemi, and now Obafemi has been the ruler of NXT ever since January of this year. I really don't understand why everyone is jumping out of their seat and they're acting like they're fucking 6 years old. The Lucha Bros are great, and I'm going to be supporting the Lucha Bros no matter what. But if you actually believe that the Lucha Bros have a great chance of being mainstream staples, if you actually think that the Lucha Bros have a chance of being prominent stars on whatever show they land on, I'm sorry, but you're out of your fucking mind. You're out of your mind. There are so many people that are just as good, if not better than the Lucha Bros that are on WWE TV right now that aren't being showcased correctly. Never mind the Latino stars. Never mind. And that just goes to show you that Triple H does not know how to book his undercard. If your name isn't Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Bloodline, Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, unless your name is one of those guys, Triple H doesn't give a fuck about you, no matter who's in charge of WWE. I am going to look forward to seeing what the Lucha Bros do in the future, but I do not have any confidence that Triple H is going to handle them well. I don't. Rampage. AEW Rampage. I know a lot of you have not really been keeping up to date with AEW Rampage. I don't really blame you because Rampage has essentially become a glorified enhancement show. Rampage is way too oversaturated, way too overstuffed. The last time we actually had a decent episode of Rampage was probably back in July when we had that Rampage episode in Chicago. That was legitimately probably the only decent episode of Rampage this year. Rampage has had 5 matches for the majority of this year. Shit has been completely overstuffed, completely oversaturated, and it's honestly extremely, extremely difficult to watch. We have some decent matches here and there, but the majority of the matches, matter of fact, all the matches that we see on Rampage, especially this year, they've all been fucking meaningless. Rampage has been meaningless, and one of the biggest factors why, minus the oversaturation, is because Tony Khan got rid of the rankings. Tony Khan got rid of the rankings, and wins and losses don't mean anything on AEW TV, which really fucking pisses me off. I swear to God, it's like I'm watching SmackDown. Bunch of matches that mean absolutely nothing unless the main stars are involved. But according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, one source has indicated this past week that AEW Rampage could very well be discontinued with the new Time Warner deal with AEW. John Alrand noted that AEW is pitching another package primarily to broadcast channels. That would mean networks like ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, and more. Their third show, the rumored show that's been floating around, AEW Shockwave, which is rumored to go on FS1, that could very well likely be a 1-hour programming that replaces AEW Rampage. I've talked about this before. Tony Khan could easily make Rampage feel important. But the problem is that Tony Khan, like I've been stating for the longest time now, Tony Khan is doing way too much on his own. Tony Khan is refusing to delegate responsibilities. And the fact that Tony Khan is so fucking overwhelmed, shit is not coming off well on TV. It is really, really frustrating to look at a show like Rampage, which should realistically be the easiest watch of the week. And you got 5 matches on the show, and everyone is questioning, why the fuck do we have 5 matches on this show? Why do we have 5 matches on this show, and why do they mean absolutely nothing? That is the whole reason why AEW came into existence. When they first started, it was all about making wins and losses matter. Why did they deviate away from that? Why? It's a pro wrestling company. Treat it like a fucking sport. Stop with the whole drama soap opera shit. Leave that to WWE. Leave it to WWE to wrongfully book professional wrestling. Leave it to WWE to do the soap opera bullshit. You are a pro wrestling company. I would much rather watch a wrestling company that treats it like a professional wrestling company rather than a fucking soap opera drama. And in order to do that, you need to make wins and losses matter. And they're not doing that. All you have to do is switch up the format. All you need to do is structure the show better. Maybe even move it to a different timestamp. Instead of putting it at 10, why don't you put it at fucking 7? Why don't you move it to a different day? I don't understand. I really do not understand. It's fucking frustrating, really. But as far as Rampage goes, listen, if FS1 is going to get AEW Shockwave, right? FS1 is going to get AEW Shockwave, and FS1 is going to get this new program. If you're going to get rid of Rampage, fine. But you can't make Shockwave Rampage 2.0. You can't do that. You cannot take AEW Rampage's format and just put a 5-match format on FS1. You can't do that. if you are going to do any show, Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, if you're going to do any show, you need to format it correctly. You need to structure it well. You need to put the important shit on the show, and you need to make every single match mean something. Rampage supposedly is getting canceled with this new Time Warner deal because AEW is planning, rumoredly, to be debuting AEW Shockwave, a new show on FS1. They could easily fix Rampage if they want to, but Tony Khan is way too fucking overwhelmed. Tony Khan refuses to delegate any responsibilities. So you know what? Getting rid of Rampage may be the best possible option, and then debuting Shockwave on FS1 would be the best possible replacement. However, what AEW cannot do is make Shockwave Rampage 2.0. You cannot just throw 4 or 5 matches within a 1-hour time period and then just call it a day. No, you need to structure it well. You need to give us quality matches that mean shit. They need to bring back the rankings. I'm going to say that until I'm fucking purple in the face. Rampage is getting canceled, fine. But if you're going to debut Shockwave, do not make it a Rampage 2.0. Moving on. Hikuleo. I don't think we've talked about Hikuleo in a little bit. Hikuleo has been signed with the WWE for a little bit. And according to Meltzer, WWE is currently strategizing the right time to debut Hikuleo. Apparently, WWE has been waiting for the perfect moment to unveil Hikuleo. Now, I don't know what WWE's thought pattern is. I really don't. But if I am booking this and I'm strategizing about the best possible way to bring Hikuleo into the WWE, the decision is pretty easy if you ask me. On November 30th in Vancouver, British Columbia, we got War Games. We got Survivor Series War Games, right? If Survivor Series is going to be doing a War Games, then it's quite simple what they need to do. We need to have Hikuleo as a part of whichever bloodline that they want to put him on for War Games. When it comes, no, Mr. James Puniseka, I am straight edge. I do not drink. I have not taken a single sip of alcohol since I became legal, and I'm not planning on starting. It's all ice water. I need the ice water when I'm ranting and raving over here. But as far as Hikuleo goes, it's quite simple. You debut him as a member of whichever Bloodline War Games team you want to debut him as. Now, I have talked about what needs to happen. I'm not sure if The Rock is going to be up to this, but with what is going on with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, they're tag teaming at Bad Blood. And it's going to be Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu at Bad Blood. Now, there's only one way that match should end. That match should end with Solo Sikoa pinning Roman Reigns. It needs to. How are they going to go about that? If you're trying to make things a little bit more intriguing, and if you really want to put a nice little bow tie on this Bloodline storyline, the best possible way to do it, and I believe I've talked about this once or twice, all you need to do is bring back The Rock at Bad Blood. The Rock shows up, The Rock bottoms Roman Reigns, Solo gets the win, and The Rock is the mastermind revealed behind Solo Sikoa's new bloodline. So now you got Rock, you got Solo, you got Tama Tonga, you got Tonga Loa, and you got Jacob Fatu. 5 guys. Now on Roman's side, you got Roman himself. You bring in Jay. You bring back Jimmy Uso. You bring in Sami Zayn. And then you bring Hikuleo. And there's your 5 5 versus 5 for War Games. Not sure if The Rock is really going to be too keen on doing War Games, but either way, The Rock doing War Games would be the best possible option, because then that will act as a bridge towards the Rumble. So if we're going to do Rock's bloodline versus Roman's bloodline with Hikuleo on Roman's bloodline going into War Games, The Rock and his bloodline, they take the win by Rock pinning Roman. Then that will lead to Rock versus Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble for the Undisputed Championship. That should not be the WrestleMania match. Do it at the Rumble. Do it at the Rumble, not at WrestleMania. So you do it at the Rumble, then Cody Rhodes is about to lose. The ref goes down. Roman Reigns swoops in. Roman Reigns fucks over The Rock, and Roman Reigns and The Rock, they get their main event match at WrestleMania in Las Vegas, night number 1, and boom, there you go. That is the end of the Bloodline storyline. They need to wrap it up because it's been going on and on and on, and it is fucking exhausting to sit through. It really is fucking exhausting. So what's the best place to debut Hikuleo? Debut him at Survivor Series War Games. It's very, very simple. Everyone talks about Hikuleo. Meltzer says that WWE is waiting for the proper time to debut Hikuleo. The decision is quite easy. Rock is revealed as the mastermind behind Solo's bloodline. You got Rock, Solo, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. Roman Reigns, Jimmy J, Sami Zayn, and then the debuting Hikuleo. That's your 5-on-5 for War Games on November 30th in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. It's quite simple. There's no better option whatsoever. And if you debut him there, that will get Hikuleo in the ring with all these other members of the bloodline, and it will be a full circle family historic moment. Moving on, AJ Styles. Where is AJ Styles? Is he hurt? Is he sick? Is he taking a break? Is he morphing into a backstage producer? Did he fall off a cliff never to return? Where is AJ Styles? According to Fightful, AJ Styles is healthy, but WWE just isn't using him right now. WWE is not using AJ Styles. So anyone who's wondering where he is, there's your answer. WWE is not using him. WWE clearly doesn't care about AJ Styles. Why? I don't fucking know. Maybe Styles is trying to step back a little bit. Maybe he's winding down his career. Either way, the fact that they're not using AJ Styles, that right there is a huge, and I mean a huge, huge issue. If anything, AJ Styles could be on Monday Night Raw, and we could have another potential opponent for Gunther and the World Heavyweight Championship. But we don't. It's fucking stupid. Tamina Snuka. I'm sure many of you don't even give a fuck about Tamina Snuka, neither do I. According to Sean Ross Sapp, Tamina Snuka is done with her in-ring career, and she is not wrestling again anytime soon. Praise be to God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank God Tamina is not wrestling anymore. She was undoubtedly one of the worst wrestlers in the women's division when she was active, especially after her knee injury. She was fucking awful. Very, very pleased to know that she is no longer wrestling. Goodbye, Tamina Snuka. You will not be missed. Moving on, Deonna Purrazzo. She is a Jersey girl, and I got to support my Jersey girls. I've been a very big advocate for Deonna Purrazzo for a while now. Apparently, there is talk within AEW, according to PW Insider, about building a faction around Deonna Purrazzo, although I don't know who they would put in there with Deonna Purrazzo, but I do have my own specific ideas. If you want to build a nice faction around Purrazzo, Chris Statlander would be a great, and I mean a great, potential addition to Deonna Purrazzo's rumored faction. Or maybe you bring in Megan Bayne. I know Megan Bayne has been floating around there. A lot of people have said that Megan Bayne has been signed by AEW for a good while now. So why not bring her in? You got Megan Bayne, Chris Statlander, and Deonna Purrazzo. 3 powerhouse women right there, or 2 powerhouse women and a technical masterpiece of a women's wrestler in Deonna Purrazzo. That right there would be a decent little faction. Now the question is, what exactly would their goal be? What exactly would their goal be? Are they just putting them in a faction to do a women's War Games match? Or are we going to see some sort of scenario where Deonna Purrazzo is built up to potentially fight for the women's championship? I don't know. Now, if you're asking me, there's a lot of potential within a Deonna Purrazzo faction. And if you want to, with Jamie Hayter back, Jamie Hayter, she can go after Mariah May. Jamie Hayter could win the AEW Women's World Championship. And then you could build up Deonna as a heel to take that title off of Jamie Hayter. Wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. Sticking with AEW, Adam Cole and Julia Hart were both backstage at this week's AEW Dynamite. That is definitely something that I can get behind. Julia Hart, she is improved. She is very good. And then, of course, Adam Cole. We already know about Adam Cole, Bay. Adam Cole is one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet, and perhaps one of the best professional wrestlers in the modern era, period. And the fact that Adam Cole, he has been out for so long, it's actually extremely, extremely frustrating. So I am very much hoping that we do see Adam Cole and Julia Hart return sooner rather than later. Julia Hart, she is a very valuable asset to the women's division. And Adam Cole, I mean, with all the talent that is in AEW right now, with Okada in there, with Ospreay in there, with Ricochet coming on in, all the other people that I haven't even mentioned, Adam Cole is a perfect fit for that type of nucleus of talent. Now, I'm not sure where Adam Cole is going to fit. I'm not sure what they're going to do with MJF out right now. I mean, the logical thing would be to have Adam Cole and MJF finish off their feud. Fucking sucks that injuries screwed it all up. And I do wonder what things would be like if Adam Cole never got injured back at Grand Slam last year. It would have been a great day. It would have been a great day to see Adam Cole healthy, and potentially he would have been the one to take the title off of MJF, not Samoa Joe. Ricky Starks, according to Fightful, Ricky Starks has still been under AEW contract. He's not been released. Ricky Starks is still under AEW contract, but he has not been backstage as of lately. Not really sure what's going on with Ricky Starks, but he did call out a report. I can't remember who it was from. I think it was either from PW Insider or it was from Ringside News. Either way, Ricky Starks, he called out a report stating that, hey, whatever happened was BS. He pretty much called out a report that stated that he was pitched the storyline and he rejected it. He kind of said that that was BS. If you're asking me, Tony Khan knows that Ricky Starks has one foot out the door, and Tony Khan's not going to invest in a guy like Ricky Starks when he knows that Ricky Starks is going to inevitably leave for WWE. And another one is Miro. Because apparently, according to Fightful, Miro has actually requested his release from AEW. Now, what is going on with everyone here? I know a lot of people aren't happy and they want to leave AEW. Everyone's trying to point the finger of blame. Everyone's looking for someone to blame. Everyone's looking for someone to support, someone to blame, all this other bullshit. I am not going to put anyone into the innocent party here. Miro and Tony Khan, AEW Creative, neither of them are innocent. Same thing with Ricky Starks. Same thing with Ricky Starks. When it comes down to it all, Miro and Ricky Starks and all people who are virtually unhappy with what Tony Khan is doing, they are operating with kind of an egotistical mind, if we're going to be quite honest with you. Now, hear me out. Miro was actually booked very well in the beginning stages of his AEW run. When he was the TNT champion, he was putting out some fantastic, and I mean fantastic material. Then they had him lose the TNT championship. He ended up having a very good match with Bryan Danielson back at Full Gear 2021. He was not seen for about 8 months. Wasn't seen for about 8 months. Don't know why. Really don't know why. He came back. He had a little mini feud with the House of Black. And then he took another 8-month break. Went nowhere. Went absolutely nowhere. Not sure what happened. I'm not sure what's going on backstage. I'm not sure if it's Tony Khan just not having any creative plans for him. I'm not sure if it's Miro's ego. It's probably both. But if Tony Khan is talking to Miro and he's pitching these ideas to Miro, and Miro doesn't want to do a job, right? Miro apparently doesn't want to do a job. Miro doesn't want to do the job, then that's on Miro. No one is above doing a job. Nobody is above taking a loss. So if Miro is booked to lose, then you know what? Unfortunately, bro, you're just going to have to take the loss. However, it all depends on what Tony Khan is booking Miro to lose. If he's booking Miro to lose a 3-minute match and Miro's going to end up looking like a complete fucking loser in the end, then ultimately, that I understand. But you take a look at everything that's been going on with Miro. How many legitimate losses does Miro really have in AEW? How many? He only has about maybe 3-4 losses in AEW, and a couple of them are losses where he wasn't even pinned. Miro's only been pinned like once or maybe twice in his entire AEW career. So I'm not really sure what the deal is. I'm not really sure why Miro is just so gung-ho on not taking a loss unless it really is a shitty decision by Tony Khan. And if it is, ultimately, Tony Khan needs to reevaluate his creative mindset. But I am not going to be playing favorites here. I'm going to say that both are at fault because there is a lot of WWE people that are in AEW that have a massive fucking ego. They have massive egos and they are just beyond, and I mean beyond delusional when it comes to their own value and where they stand in the pecking order. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck whether you're a main event guy. I don't give a fuck whether you're a Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns or if you're a fucking worthless jobber like Wendy Chu. I don't give a fuck who you are. The moment that you start displaying signs of an ego that's getting in the way of the greater good of the show, you are a fucking problem. And if these rumors are true, then you know what? Miro is a fucking problem. Now, that being said, on the other side of the spectrum, and this is Tony Khan's fault, and I'm always going to refer back to this. This is Tony Khan's fault for being overwhelmed and taking in so much talent to a point where nothing, or at least nothing on certain weeks, some weeks they come off good, but other weeks, half the time, as I've stated, AEW comes off disorganized. Maybe Miro, just like Ricky Starks, maybe they don't trust the process for Tony Khan. Maybe they really don't believe that Tony Khan has their best interests in mind. But then again, you look at Swerve Strickland, right? You look at Swerve Strickland, and Swerve Strickland, he's built the relationship with Tony Khan. He's really developed a business partnership and a friendship with Tony Khan, and thus he's reaped the rewards of it. He's played by the book. He's never bitched. He's never moaned. He's never complained. And now look at Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland, the last 12 months have been Swerve Strickland's best 12 months throughout his entire fucking career. The last 12 months, AEW has indeed been, this isn't a fucking shoot, this isn't a fucking catchphrase. The last 12 months, AEW has legitimately been Swerve's house. Not even fucking bullshitting. Swerve Strickland has been one of the major backbones. He's literally been the pillar of AEW TV minus Ospreay, Hangman, and MJF this past year. Swerve Strickland has been involved in what many people consider the greatest feud in AEW short history with Hangman Adam Page, which, by the way, it's not over. We're going to get more matches with Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. He became AEW World Champion, even though it was only for about 4.5 months, but he had a great reign as World Champion. He had a great reign. He main evented All In one of the best matches of the year against Bryan Danielson. Even though he lost the world title, he still main evented another pay-per-view 2 weeks later at All Out in Chicago. He fucking main evented All Out in Chicago. He wasn't even the world champion. And now we're possibly looking down the barrel of Hangman winning the world championship and Swerve Strickland becoming a 2-time AEW world champion in due time. Swerve Strickland is going to be a multi-time world champion and potentially undercard champion in AEW. Swerve Strickland will go down as a man that will have one of the most lucrative AEW careers of all time. The man was made into a star because he developed a relationship with Tony Khan and trusted the process. Maybe Ricky Starks and Miro, they don't want to do that. Maybe they don't want to build a relationship with Tony Khan. Maybe they don't want to trust the process. And that's fine and all that. That's fine and all that. But that doesn't give you the right to be a fucking asshole. If you do not trust the process with Tony Khan, fine. That's on Tony Khan. That is Tony Khan's fault. But that doesn't give you the right to act like a fucking dickwad. You don't need to display your ego and flex your fucking seniority just because you were in WWE for X amount of years. That's called being a fucking jackass. At this rate, I would fucking let him go. I would honestly let Miro go. This whole incident that's going on right now, Miro apparently requested his release from AEW. Everyone is looking to point the finger of blame. They're looking to make one person the hero and one person the villain. I know the WWE cocksuckers are going to be chomping at the bit to make Miro the hero because, he bashed Tony Khan, or he wants his release from AEW. I'm not going to be taking any sides here. Both sides are at fault. Now, reportedly, Miro doesn't want to do jobs. He doesn't want to fucking lose. He hasn't really come out and debunked these stories, but it's clear as day, Miro has a fucking ego from being in WWE. Now, on the other side of the fence, Tony Khan is at fault for the same reasons why I've been stating for months now. The more responsibilities he's taken on, the more disorganized his product has become. And maybe Miro and guys like Ricky Starks, they don't trust the process with Tony Khan based on the disorganization. At this point, just let him go. Just let him go. They should honestly let everyone go who does not want to be there. Anyone with an ego that does not want to be in that locker room, let him go. Let him go. It's not worth the fucking headache. It's not. Focus on restructuring your shows to make everything feel important. Bring back the fucking rankings. Bring back the rankings. And focus on marketing. That's what you need to do. Dave Meltzer reported that those close to the AEW Warner Brothers Discovery deal, they said that AEW pay-per-views will be a part of the Max deal, although it has not been detailed yet as to what form this will take. It doesn't state whether you're going to be charged extra or whether it's going to be included with the max subscription. If you're asking me, these AEW pay-per-views should absolutely be included with the max subscription because that would draw people to subscribe to HBO Max more. Really nothing more with the TV deal. I think we already expected that AEW was going to be getting their money. They were going to be getting their television deal. Now they have it. And now they are going to go forth with what they have. Now the question is, are they going to use that money and invest in what they need to invest? The better structure and, of course, the marketing. I'm always going to revert back to that until something is done. And finally, my final report for the news, rumors, and reports section, WrestleVotes. WrestleVotes Radio has seemingly been the hot new podcast here in the IWC. What is the deal? Well, apparently, the deal is that SmackDown, according to WrestleVotes Radio, SmackDown could very well expand to 3 hours. Now, why are they expanding to 3 hours? I don't know. Probably has something to do with the USA Network. That's probably a USA Network decision. However, this is not a permanent change because WrestleVotes stated that the word internally that SmackDown is going to 3 hours. However, this will be starting in January in 2025, but it will only last for 6 months. And after 6 months, they're going to go back to being a 2-hour show. Now, why are they doing this? I don't know. The only reasonable explanation that I can think of is the fact that they're doing this specifically because Raw's moving to Netflix. Raw is probably going to remain 3 hours on Netflix. They're probably not going to revert back to 2 hours permanently, even though they should. But Raw, they're already at 3 hours. WWE, at this stage of the game, it's either for one of two reasons. Number one, they're trying to cut into AEW Rampage and just completely eliminate that show because they're a bunch of petty assholes. Or they're doing this specifically because it's a USA Network decision and they want to make SmackDown 3 hours just like they wanted to make Monday Night Raw 3 hours back in the day. That's the only reason why I would assume that they're going to 3 hours. Now, is it a good decision? No, it's not a good decision. 3 hours is not necessarily a problem with a wrestling show. However, when it comes down to a 3-hour programming, you need to have the proper resources in order to operate a 3-hour show. Monday Night Raw right now is probably the most complete show that they have. But as far as SmackDown goes, coming out of SummerSlam, SmackDown really hasn't been all that good. SmackDown, how many weeks it's been? It's been about 7 weeks, 8 weeks since SummerSlam? 7-8 weeks in SummerSlam, and 5 to 6 episodes of the last 7 to 8 weeks worth of SmackDown. The majority of the show has been nothing but rematches. And then on top of that, we have been getting shit that doesn't even make any sense. We got Kevin Owens getting a world title shot, which doesn't even make any sense. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes are teaming up. That doesn't make any sense. So now that they're expanding SmackDown to 3 hours reportedly, now we're going to have to sit through more rematches. We're going to have to sit through more logic gaps. And we're going to have to sit through shit that ultimately is going to make the show drag on to make it feel like it's 6 hours as opposed to 3 hours. And I swear to God, it fucking pisses me off that no one is talking about Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and how stupid it is that they're even teaming up. But everyone is so quick to jump the gun and shit on Tony Khan because he booked Ricochet and Will Ospreay in 2 weeks at the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite. And I'm not saying I would have done that. I wouldn't have done that. But everyone's so quick to jump on Tony Khan's ass for that. Everyone is so fucking quick to do it. They're so fucking quick to do it. But yet no one wants to talk about Roman and Cody. And people, they're just letting it roll off their backs. I don't think anyone has mentioned the real reason why Cody Rhodes is teaming with Roman Reigns. No one. No one is talking about the real reason why Roman and Cody are teaming up at Bad Blood. So you know what? I'm going to, because someone needs to educate the masses. The match makes no sense. The reason for them teaming makes no sense. Cody Rhodes even said he had no intention of signing that contract, and nothing was stated. Nothing was stated later on in the night that would coerce Cody Rhodes to sign the contract to team with Roman. You know why they're doing it? It's because Cody Rhodes has no challengers left. There is no one left to fight Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship outside of Randy Orton and The Rock. And WWE is saving both of those individuals for bigger stages. He's already beaten AJ, Logan Paul, Solo Sikoa twice, Kevin Owens, and everyone else hasn't been built up enough, or they're preoccupied. So they're doing this nonsensical tag team match just to get Cody Rhodes on the show in his hometown. Fucking ridiculous. But as far as SmackDown moving to 3 hours, I'm telling you, a lot of people are still complaining about Monday Night Raw. A lot of people are still complaining about Monday Night Raw, and Monday Night Raw has been better under Triple H. SmackDown has been the worst show, minus NXT, out of the WWE programs. And if we're going to get 3-hour SmackDowns, I'm telling you, we're not necessarily looking at some intriguing shows going forward. If we're going to get to see the 27th Carmelo Hayes and Andrade match, that's the last thing that we fucking need. Last thing we fucking need. I'm going to keep you guys updated on that, though. I will keep you guys very much in tune. I will keep you guys updated on that. And I'm going to take notes very, very intently. I will be watching with hawk eyes, and I will tell you everything that's going on like I usually do. But that wraps up the news, rumors, and reports. Before we move on to the weekly show reviews, I'd like to shout out Dylan, James Punaseca. I'd like to shout out Margarita. I'd like to shout out Matthew and Greg John. Thank you very much, all of you, for stopping on by and choosing DJ Storms as your means of entertainment here on this Saturday afternoon. Before we move on to the Monday Night Raw review, I'd like to shout out a couple more sponsorships for Battle in the Borough on Saturday, October 19th. Number one, Golden Wheel Driving School. I actually went to Golden Wheel Driving School to get my beginner's course so that way I would be prepared for getting my driver's license. If you want a 90-minute refresher course just to get your mind back in tune of the rules of the road, go and take a spin on over to Golden Wheel Driving School. You don't believe me? Listen up. I'll tell you why Golden Wheel Driver School is the premier driving school in the state of New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about Golden Wheel Driving School. Now, did you guys know that since 1997, Golden Wheel Driving School has been the premier driving school in the state of New Jersey? They are renowned for many things, such as using quality driving instructors certified by the New Jersey DMV, using the latest model cars, all equipped with dual controls for maximum safety, and, of course, their commitment to ensuring a reliable learning environment for all of their students. And they also offer flexible packages for all different drivers amongst all different ages. So whether you need a 90-minute refresher course or an 8-hour multi-day beginner's course, Golden Wheel is indeed the place to be. And as you can see, they'll even drive to your house and pick you up. Ain't that right, my friend? So come on down, visit Golden Wheel, New Jersey's premier driving school, now serving both Bergen and Passaic County. Thank you very much to Golden Wheel Driving School for being an official sponsor of Battle in the Borough, as well as the DJ Storms brand. I greatly appreciate you guys. You guys are fantastic over at Golden Wheel, and anyone can sign up for a program over there to help you get ready for your driver's test or refresh your memory on the rules of the road. I also want to shout out my laundry room here in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. Now, owning a washing and drying machine is very, very costly. Very costly. I know that. You know that. Especially in this shitty economy. Fuck Biden and Harris. But when it comes down to it all, if you guys are looking for affordable laundry services, all you need to do, if you're in the general Elmwood Park area, go take a spin on over to my laundry room, because they got very affordable laundry prices to help you get your laundry done efficiently and without the headache of spending hundreds of dollars on a washer and a dryer. You don't believe me? Well, all you need to do is sit back, listen up, and I'll tell you all about my laundry room. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and if you guys require some professional laundry services, you guys should come on down to my laundry room. And I'm here to tell you why. First of all, they got a great reputation of over 30 years here in Elmwood Park, New Jersey, which gives them first-class name brand recognition. Secondly, they got high-quality VIP wash and fold service, which entails that you get top-notch cleaning at a very reasonable price. And of course, you get the assurance that your order will be ready when promised. And finally, and most importantly, you get the customer satisfaction knowing that my laundry room is a clean and comfortable environment, has great staff, and above all else, is a place where the customer always comes first. So come on down, see Kelly, Danielle, Chris, and all the great team members over here. My laundry room, where your dirty laundry is their business. And your dirty laundry is indeed their business over at my laundry room. Thank you very much to Danielle, Kelly, Chris, and all the team members over at my laundry room for being an official sponsor of Battle in the Borough and, of course, the DJ Storms brand. And my final sponsorship I would like to shout out for now, we'll be shouting out a little bit more later, is Elmwood Dental Professionals. Now, I got the perfect teeth, but I'll tell you what, I want to keep my teeth perfect. So what do? I go take a spin on over to Elmwood Dental Professionals. Dr. David Eidman, Dr. Daniel Eidman, and all the great team members over there, they are poised to make sure that you get the best dental care and your visits will be as comfortable as possible over there. If you don't believe me, well, relax, sit back, and if you're in need of some dental health and some dental advice, all you need to do is listen to me, DJ Shizzle Dizzle, and I'll tell you about why Elmwood Dental Professionals is the premier dental practice in Bergen County. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and if you guys are looking for some quality dental care, have I got the place for you. For almost 40 years, Elmwood Dental Professionals has been one of the top-tier premier dental practices in Bergen County. Dr. David Eidman, Dr. Daniel Eidman, and their entire team have employed a standard of excellence in personalized dental care, which combines uncompromising safety with extensive training and expertise. This enables them to provide the quality dental services that their patients deserve. As a practice, they are true believers that preventative care and education are the keys to optimal dental health. Their entire team is dedicated to providing you with the personalized dental care that you deserve to make your visits as comfortable and pleasant as possible. Elmwood Dental Professionals, creating beautiful smiles, then, now, and forever. They have indeed been creating beautiful smiles, then, now, and forever. Thank you very much to Dr. David Eidman, Dr. Daniel Eidman, and all the great team members over at Elmwood Dental Professionals for being an official sponsor for Battle in the Borough and, of course, the DJ Storms brand. Now then, why don't we get into the weekly show reviews here. Monday Night Raw. Better than last week. Last week was very much a rehash version of Monday Night Raw. Way too many rematches last week and not enough oomph behind what they were doing. This week's Monday Night Raw Much better. Much, much, much better. CM Punk, he came out and he says that the only way to end this feud with Drew McIntyre is inside Hell in a Cell. He was talking about how he was naive for thinking that this was going to be over just because he touched four corners in Berlin. But he is just too stubborn. Drew's fatal mistake is not getting the job done. How many Hell in a Cell matches do I have left in me? The honest answer is 0. My little sister asked me not to do this. My wife asked me not to do this. The angel on my shoulder is begging me not to do this. So allow me to tell you why I am absolutely going to do this. Drew pushed me. Now the deal, or the devil in my heart, is telling me that the only way that this ends is inside Hell in a Cell. I can't promise that I'm going to kill you, but I can promise that I'm going to make you bleed, and you will have to kill me because I am prepared for this heart to stop beating. And if this is the end, so be it. But if you're prepared for this to be the end of Drew McIntyre, I will see you in hell, says CM Punk. Punk needed this. This was a very well laid out promo. He said exactly what he needed to say. However, this really wasn't anything over the top. This really wasn't anything overly crazy. And if we are going to be real, if we're going to be objective here, we're pretty much just waiting for the match. That's the stage that we are in. We are in a stage where Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, they have done everything that they could possibly do. There is nothing left to say. There is nothing left to do. There is no more of a build that we need for this match. If anything, what they say in the next couple weeks leading up to Bad Blood, it's ultimately going to be nothing more than repetition. It's nothing more than repetition of what we have been seeing over the course of the last several months. Now we're all just at a point where we are waiting for the match. So even though it was a well laid out promo, it really wasn't anything groundbreaking, and it was forgotten about by the time the show was over. We're just waiting for this Hell in a Cell match because everything has already been done and said. Pete Dunne, he took on Sheamus. As per usual, this was a decent match. And Pete Dunne, he gets the win. I was actually shocked that they did the right thing, but Pete Dunne needed this win. Pete Dunne got the win over Sheamus. Although the ending was a little flat, the ending was rather anticlimactic. I don't know why Pete Dunne couldn't just do the bitter end, but either way, Pete Dunne, he needed the win, and he got the win. Natalya versus Zelina, I almost said Zelina Vega, Zoe Stark. Natalya versus Zoe Stark. I would love to know, I would honestly love to know, how many fucking times do we need to see the Pure Fusion Collective versus Lyra Valkyria and friends? How many times? All they did here was they swapped out Katana Chance and Kaden Carter for Natalya and Zelina Vega. How many fucking times do we need to see the same fucking matches over and over and over again? It is fucking ridiculous. And God forbid that they're building up Natalya to be an opponent for whoever wins between Liv and Rhea at Bad Blood. God fucking forbid. Natalya wins. Who gives a shit? By the way, when can we start saying that the Pure Fusion Collective is dead? Not like they even had any lifeline to begin with. I mean, they were fucking dead on arrival. They were dead on arrival. No one gives a fuck about the Pure Fusion Collective. Nobody gives a fuck about the WWE Women's Division. Jey Uso. He came out to address the crowd. He was all hyped up. He talked about being the number one contender for Braun Breaker. Every single time he finished a sentence, the crowd went yeet. So out comes Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker talked to Jay. He said that, "You're so inspiring, Jay. You know, you've been on this roster for about 14 years now. You're a big star, and they love you. However, I have done more as a single star in about 6 months than you've done in your whole career. I didn't need my family's help. I didn't even need my family's name for this. I'm a dog. That's what I do. Next Monday, I'm going to expose you. And you are going to be looked at as a man who is nothing without your family." Jay said, "You know what? I see it, Braun. I see that you got that dog in you. But you see, I've been on this roster for 14 years winning titles when you were in diapers. And I'm going to dog walk your ass. And we're going to see next week if this title reign might get cut short just like your NFL career." Now, that was a great burn. That was a great burn right there. So Braun obviously took exception to this. Braun punched Jay. Braun went for the spear, and Jay countered with a spear of his own. Ultimately, Jay Uso stands tall. Jay Uso stands tall, and Jay Uso and Braun Breaker, they got themselves a match next Monday for the Intercontinental Championship, which should be pretty damn fucking good. I am looking forward to that one. New Day and the Judgment Day World Tag Team Championships. This was a decent title defense for the Judgment Day here. Nothing too over the top. However, it's fucking ridiculous that the Judgment Day, they've been champions, right? They have been champions for 2.5 months at this rate, right? They've been champions for 2.5 months, and they didn't defend the championships once. This was their first title defense since they won the fucking titles off the Awesome Truth. That is very, very, very fucking frustrating. We need the tag team division to be completely revamped. We need the tag team division to be in a position where they are taken seriously. We need more focus on tag team wrestling. We need tag teams to be competing in matches on a weekly basis where they are either winning or losing, and they're moving up a ranking system. We need to develop credible challengers. We need to develop credible challengers for said championships. It is fucking ridiculous that we are sitting here in a position where all of these fucking people, I swear to God, all these fucking tag teams are worthless. Absolutely worthless. You want to know what was the best part about this whole entire ordeal? The best part about this whole entire ordeal is the fact that Xavier Woods, he hit the diving elbow, and the referee was distracted because of what was going on the outside, and that ultimately led to the New Day losing the World Tag Team Championship match, and ultimately, Xavier Woods, he is now frustrated. That is great. For the love of God, I hope to God, I will literally mark out. I have never marked out for anything that WWE has done in a long, long time. The last time I marked out for something was when we saw Undertaker and Triple H in the end of an era Hell in a Cell match in 2012. That was the last time that we had a scenario where I marked out for WWE. But I would fucking mark out if Xavier Woods turns heel. The New Day needs to go. It's been 10 years. They've been doing the same thing over and over again. Big E, he may never wrestle again, unfortunately. But as far as the New Day from a tag team perspective, it is about time that we move on, we move forward, and we focus strictly on the singles capacity of both Kingston and Woods. Kingston is a single star that should be putting over other individuals, and Xavier Woods, he has been held back for the longest time since he has been a member of the New Day. It's time that we see Xavier Woods branch out as a singles guy. Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman we didn't even get a match started with these two. Matter of fact, this was the best thing on the show. We did not see a single match between these two. We saw these two just fucking destroy each other. We saw these two literally tear apart half the fucking building because they wanted to absolutely beat each other senseless. Bronson Reed was tossed into the top rope, which broke immediately upon impact. Reed threw a fan at Strowman. We had a crossbody by Strowman, sending Reed through the barricade. The ref called for some help. Reed was escorted out, but Braun Strowman went right after him. They brawled into the backstage area. Strowman flipped over a golf cart. Bronson Reed with a tsunami off of the crate through two tables. Braun Strowman got right back up as if he's fucking Frankenstein, and he fucking pounced Bronson Reed through a drywall. He fucking pounced Bronson Reed through a drywall, and Barrett on commentary, Wade Barrett said a fantastic fucking line here. He said, "We need about 10 ambulances." I laughed my ass off at that. Fucking great. So this was a great fucking brawl. And if you're asking me, this is going to have to be the final straw for Adam Pearce. Bronson Reed, he has a last man standing match with Braun Strowman, and Bronson Reed gets the victory. And then afterwards, Bronson Reed continues to cause chaos, and Bronson Reed inevitably gets escorted from Monday Night Raw. He gets traded over to SmackDown, and we build towards Bronson Reed and LA Knight for the United States Championship. That's what we need. I'd like to take a little break. Right here, and we're going to shout out some more sponsorships. Raging Girl Gamer, straight from the South. Raging Girl Gamer. Greatly appreciate you, Miss Rage. And I'm very, very happy that you decided to stop on by, because we are going to shout out some sponsorships. We are shouting out some sponsorships, including DNN Deli. If you guys are a fan of Peruvian food, and specifically Peruvian deli, have I got the place for you. It is called DNN Deli. Why? Because DNN Deli is undoubtedly a fantastic representation for Peruvian food. I'm telling you, they got some great homemade roast beef and homemade empanadas. And if you don't believe me, listen to this short little message from your boy, DJ Shizzle Dizzle. And if you're in the general Elmwood Park area, come on down and go to DNN Deli. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and if you got a hankering for Peruvian food, come and visit my friend Will over at DNN Deli. Let me tell you something. They got themselves some fantastic homemade roast beef, homemade empanadas, straight out of Peru as well, so you know it is quality. Once again, that is DNN Deli here in Elmwood Park, New Jersey, and don't forget to catch Battle in the Borough, Saturday, October 19th, 2024. Thank you very much to my friend Will and all of the team members over at DNN Deli for being an official sponsor of Battle in the Borough, and of course, an official sponsor of the DJ Storms brand. And I would also like to shout out Macbeth Farm Interiorscapes. Macbeth is a interior landscaping company, and they do beautiful interior landscape designs for both residential homes and businesses. So if you guys are looking to get a nice interior landscape laid out to make your interior scenery very, very upscale and nice, you can go and check out Macbeth Farm Interiorscapes, run by Mr. George Macbeth. And here, I will tell you why. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to share a little bit of information with you. As many people know, plants are extremely critical to any interior design. Matter of fact, research indicates that good interior landscaping is not only desirable, but it is a must-do green initiative to keep customers both happy and healthy. Now, at Macbeth Farm Interiorscapes, they believe that plants, they do more than just occupy a corner of a lobby. That is why they offer a full line of interior landscapes for both corporate and residential settings, from office plantscaping, living walls, moss walls, and even plant and orchid arrangement, Macbeth Farm is your go-to resource for all of your professional horticulture needs. You guys can contact Macbeth at 201-387-7997, or you can see all of their creations online at macbethfarm.com. That is MacBethFarm.com. Macbeth Farm Interior-scapes, a family-owned business providing distinctive interior plantscaping for businesses across New Jersey and the Philadelphia area. And thank you very much to George Macbeth and all of the team members over at Macbeth Farm Interior-scapes for sponsoring Battle in the Borough and the DJ Storms brand. And speaking of Battle in the Borough, I would like to inform everyone that Battle in the Borough is going down on Saturday, October 19th, 2024, and we got ourselves some great pro wrestling matches going down. First of all, we got a big first-time ever matchup going on right here. It is Rick Recon taking on one half of the Silk City Kings, Kenny Bengal. And now Rick Recon, he's actually coming off a loss last night. He lost the ISPW World Heavyweight Championship to GKM. We're going to see if that plays into factor when we get to Battle in the Borough on Saturday, October 19th. You are not going to want to miss this one. This is a first-time ever match. Kenny Bengal is looking for his breakout singles moment. Is it going to be Rick Recon that is used as the stepping stone? You're going to have to get your tickets to find out. Tickets are $25 at the door, or you can call 201-507-2577, or you can DM me. Serious inquiries only. My Venmo is at DJ Storms, Cashapp, the DJ Storms, in order to get your tickets today. Also, if you guys love some quality women's wrestling, I got a match for you. It is the Battle of the Tiffs. It is Tiffany Avatar, the Cotton Candy Princess, taking on the temptatious Tiffany Grady. And I spoke to Ashley Stevie, the CEO of Kaiju Pro Wrestling, and she has agreed to give her brand a showcase at Battle in the Borough. It is going to be Tiffany Avatar defending the Kaiju Pro Wrestling Phoenix Division Championship against Tiffany Grady. These two women are 1-1 this year. This is the rubber match. Who is going to be the ultimate women's wrestler of Kaiju Pro Wrestling? You're just going to have to get your tickets, or be sure to tune into Battle in the Borough. We'll be streaming it live on YouTube on Saturday, October 19th at 7 p.m. Get your tickets now if you're in the general New Jersey area. You are not going to want to miss it. If you guys are interested in some quality tag team wrestling, I'll tell you what. Tag team wrestling is the most innovative form of professional wrestling in my eyes, and I got you a match that is going to steal the show from a tag team wrestling perspective, and that is the Now Reach Out and Touch Faith, the Now Vic Delicious and Hale Collins. The Now, they are taking on Micah and Seth Cortez of The Audacity. The Audacity, they are two-time and the inaugural Outlaw Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions. The Now, they are three-time and record-setting ISPW World Tag Team Champions. And they are also the team that beat The Audacity for the Outlaw Pro Wrestling Tag Team titles. But The Audacity won it back because they took advantage of a 2-on-1 situation. Vic Delicious was injured earlier this year when we had a match between the Now and the Audacity. Hale Collins had to go at it alone, and the Audacity ended up becoming the new champions. The Now have been chomping at the bit for some vengeance, and now vengeance could very well be at their doorstep. But you cannot look past the Audacity, because the Audacity, they are undoubtedly one of the most in-tune tag teams that we have seen up and down the East Coast. Tag team wrestling going down this October, Saturday on the 19th. Be sure to get your tickets. If you guys are looking for some technical submission specialties and you're looking for a big match, and I mean a big match where we're going to see a big-time prodigy, look no further than this match right here. Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone. He is taking on the 21-year-old prodigy Marcus Mathers. And I spoke to Billy Fetsky, and the TCW, the Titan Championship Wrestling Mobfi TV American Championship, will be on the line as Marcus Mathers, he looks to take that title from Anthony Gangone. But Anthony Gangone says that the moment that you step into the ring and the bell rings, you are in his world. Well, you're going to have to tune into Battle in the Borough to see, will we see a new American champion, or will Anthony Gangone silence Marcus Mathers once and for all? We got a big match going down a week from today. The Revolver, Alex Ryman, who recently celebrated a birthday yesterday. Happy belated birthday to Alex Ryman. Ryman will be taking on the Meadowlands Monster, El Oso Blanco himself, the Big Bruno. He is going to be challenging Ryman, and whoever wins at the Pro Wrestling Magic Back from Vacation show, they will be going to my show, and they will defend the Pro Wrestling Magic World Heavyweight Championship against their respective opponent, no matter who it may be. Now, if it's going to be Bruno will be defending the championship if he wins against this man, Mateo Marcelos. Mateo Marcelos, he is known as El Tramposo. He is the Venezuelan playboy. And Mateo, he is looking to get a win over Blanco to solidify that he is not in Blanco's shadow. Blanco has stated that Mateo, he's gotten an ego a little bit too big for him, and he's looking to knock Mateo down several pegs. Who is going to win? Well, you're going to have to tune in to find out. Although this match could very well be for the championship, and the stakes will be raised even further. But if Ryman retains, if Ryman is able to retain the championship, then he will inevitably be fighting the other half of the Silk City Kings. I'm talking about Big Dogzilla, Bulldog Pittman. These two are no strangers to one another. They have a storied history, and these two men right here, these two men are looking to one-up each other at every single chance that they can get. If Ryman retains, Pittman's got a chance to become the Pro Wrestling Magic World Heavyweight Champion. Now, I do have some unfortunate news. Spencer Slade, he has other obligations with the NWA, and he unfortunately cannot make it to Battle in the Borough. Therefore, he is not fighting Crowbar, but I do have a replacement. One individual, if you guys remember the Rescue Mania days back in 2018 and 2019 when I was posting those vlogs, Crowbar recruited one guy by the name of the Greek god Papa Don. And Papa Don right now, he is a champion in 4 different promotions, but Papa Don has also graciously elected to have the Colossal Championship Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship put on the line against Crowbar in the main event of Battle in the Borough. So you heard me correctly. Greek god Papa Don will be defending the Colossal Championship Wrestling World Championship against Crowbar at Battle in the Borough on Saturday, October 19th. Get your tickets now. $25 at the door. Call 201-507-2577 or DM me for tickets in advance. Let's get back to Monday Night Raw, and then we're going to go over Dynamite. Sami Zayn, he came to the ring, and he wanted to discuss what it meant to be a world champion. He says that he needs to become the world champion because you deserve a champion that's going to go out there and defend the title against anyone and everyone to prove why they are the best. Ludwig Kaiser ended up coming out after Sami Zayn said that Gunther is afraid of him. Ludwig Kaiser asked Sami what he was doing. Why are you trying to get another match with Gunther? What is this nonsense of him being scared of you? You see, he's trying to save you. WrestleMania was the luckiest night of your life, and it will never happen again. Sami says, Gunther doesn't need you to speak for him. Matter of fact, Gunther doesn't need you for anything. I don't think you need Gunther either. You have a desire to prove yourself, and you're looking to stand on your own 2 feet. But do you think you're going to be anything other than Gunther's mouthpiece? At least have the balls to speak for yourself. Out comes Gunther. Gunther asked if there's anything that Ludwig needs to say. Gunther says, yeah, I wanted to get something off my chest for a long time. He clotheslines Sami Zayn. Gunther said, Sami, regarding your challenge, my answer is and will remain no. Gunther then left, and Ludwig Kaiser ended up catching a haluva kick by Sami Zayn, and that was the end of that. Bianca Belair, she took on Io Sky. And this was a very good match. Very good women's match. It's probably the most meaningful women's match that we've had on Monday Night Raw in a long, long time. And thank God we actually got something of substance here. Sami Zayn and Ludwig Kaiser is also booked for next week. Should be a great match right there. The main event, Damian Priest defeated Dirty Dominic Mysterio before the Judgment Day attacked. And ultimately, they stood tall. Braun Breaker also came out. Braun Breaker came out and speared the shit out of Jey Uso. So the heels ended up standing tall on this night. And that was Monday Night Raw. Nothing over the top, nothing too crazy, but it was a better show than last week. And that is really all I could ask for because last week was rather lackluster in the Scotiabank Saddle Dome. AEW Dynamite. Before we get into Dynamite, I would like to shout out my final 3 sponsorships. I'd like to shout out the Ruggla Shop over on Route 46 in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. My main man, Kevin, has been there going on 9 months, and he is looking to gain a lot of traction around New Jersey, especially as the school season has started up. You guys are interested in baked goods and quality smoothies, you guys should check out the Ruggla Shop. Listen up, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I'm coming here with one of the best-kept secrets in Bergen County, the Ruggla Shop. For the last 10 months, this place has been serving up some quality baked goods, including chocolate chip cookies, pecan sandies, and of course, homemade rugglas. And if you come on in right now, my main man Kevin over here, he will make you a quality smoothie that is not only healthy, but it is also delicious. Take my word for it, people. The Ruggla Shop, you are going to want to check this place out. You are indeed going to want to check this place out because the Ruggla Shop, they got some great baked goods. I actually had a couple cookies over there, and man, oh man, are they fucking good. Also, if you guys are interested in some breakfast foods and some quality coffee, you should go and check out Toasted Bagel, Cafe, and Deli over in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. I would like to shout out Safa and the entire team over at Toasted. And I'm here to tell you that Toasted will soon be the premier stop for all sorts of breakfast and deli and coffee here in the state of New Jersey. Why? I'll tell you why. Listen up. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. I am here with the owner of Toasted. Her name is Safa and also her team.
Hi, guys.
Safa, how are you today?
I'm good.
Let me ask you, how long have you been living in Elmwood Park right now?
I was born and raised in Elmwood Park, so basically 20 years.
That's amazing. And tell us a little bit about Toasted.
So we are a woman-owned business. We're also Middle Eastern owned. We come from a Middle Eastern background. We also have our smoke shop right next door, Moonstar Smoke Shop. We just saw this opportunity. We wanted to fill the gap. So we have a lot of experience in the food industry, and we thought it would be an amazing opportunity to open something for the whole family. So we're very excited to bring this to the Elmwood Park community, and thank you guys so much for all your support.
And the Elmwood Park community thanks you. Ladies and gentlemen, Safa and the team of Toasted. I'm the one and only DJ Storms. Be sure to get your tickets right now for Battle in the Borough on October 19th, 2024. Safa and the team over at Toasted are absolutely phenomenal at what they do. Thank you very much to Safa and the entire team over at Toasted for being an official sponsor of Battle in the Borough and, of course, the DJ Storms brand. And finally, my last sponsorship I'd like to shout out is Vito's Pizza and Restaurant. Quality Italian material. If you're hungry, hell, even if you're not, you should stop by Vito's Pizza and Restaurant because they got some great material, including pizzas, pastas, and homemade empanadas. Go and check them out right now. I'll tell you why. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms, and I am here in front of Vito's Pizza and Restaurant here in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. Some of the best pizza in Bergen County. If you're hungry, hell, even if you're not, come and stop by Vito's Pizza. And of course, be sure to catch Battle in the Borough on Saturday, October 19th, 2024. Tickets, $25 at the door. DM me or call 201-507-2577. Thank you very much to Vito's Pizza and Restaurant for being an official sponsor of Battle in the Borough and, of course, the DJ Storms brand. It is the best sponsorship that they will ever donate to. Anyway, let's talk about Dynamite. AEW Dynamite. You know, it's not even like it was a bad show. It's not even like it was a bad show. I know that there's going to be a bunch of fucking retards out there that are going to go on, complain and complain and complain. But from a general perspective, it wasn't necessarily a terrible show, but there is a structure problem. And there's also an energy problem. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it's clear as day that they have a problem with the energy when it comes to the crowd. It seems as though a lot of people are going to these shows out of habit. We don't have that same energy that we always had back in the day when AEW was really at its peak in like late 2019 and then in 2021. We don't have that. We really don't have that. And it is very, very, very frustrating if we're going to be quite honest. It's also very frustrating to know that the undercard is lacking. I don't know what's going on, but the undercard is clearly lacking on AEW TV, and we need some semblance. We need some semblance of adrenaline. And I really do hope that hopefully maybe next week, maybe we see Shane McMahon revealed as the mastermind behind Moxley's faction. Because right now, John Moxley's faction is the most intriguing thing about AEW programming. It's all about Moxley's faction. Show started off with Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. This was the first time in over 4 years that we've seen these two fight. And this was actually a very good match. Shockingly, this was actually one of the better things about the show. And I'm going to even go so far as to say that this was the best Chris Jericho match that we have seen probably in at least a year or two. This may have been the best Chris Jericho match that we've seen since his match with Sammy Guevara back at last year's Grand Slam. No joke. No joke. And on top of that, this was better than all of Jericho's matches with Hook. Quote me on that. Better than Jericho's matches with Hook. Every single one of them. Obviously, we had the typical shenanigans from Big Bill and Brian Keith. The conglomeration were out there, but ultimately, it was Orange Cassidy that got the win. Orange Cassidy took a roll of quarters out of Jericho's hand and delivered the orange punch with the roll of quarters. And Orange Cassidy gets the win 1-2-3 in a very good match to kick off the show. And it's very, very odd because Jericho, who has been one of the worst aspects about the show with the learning tree gimmick. Hi, guys. He's been one of the worst aspects of Dynamite with the learning tree gimmick. Surprisingly, was not involved in the worst segment on the show. Imagine that. Roderick Strong, he was on commentary while Hook defeated a jobber. This was completely meaningless. Completely and utterly meaningless. You want to know what's frustrating? Shit like this, where Hook is once again going back to fighting jobbers and it means absolutely nothing. Why is Hook even in a scenario like that? Why? I don't get it. I honest to God do not understand. I swear to God. And on top of that, the FTW Championship, it's not doing Hook any favors. It's not. If anything, the FTW Championship is now holding Hook back. There is no use for it anymore. The FTW Championship has not felt important since Hook's feud with Jack Perry. That should have been the end of the line. We didn't need it. It should have retired after Hook won the championship back from Jack Perry. Now we are in a scenario where all Hook is doing is going round and round in circles with the FTW Championship. And you know what? If Hook wants to leave, now I wouldn't really blame him. When are we going to see Hook move up the ladder? He's been stuck in a stationary position for God knows how long. Serena Deeb and Mariah May, they took on Queen Aminata and Yuka Sakazaki. Match ended in a DQ. No energy, really. No energy whatsoever. Mariah May looked good. She always looks good. But I don't understand. If you wanted to have Yuka Sakazaki challenge for the championship, now I don't know how long Yuka Sakazaki's been back. I don't. But you can't expect me to sit here and be okay with Yuka Sakazaki challenging for the championship when she's only won one match. She won one match on Collision the other week when she beat Serena Deeb. Why exactly should we care about Yuka Sakazaki fighting Mariah May when she's had one match? One match. Where exactly is the concept of wins and losses being an important factor in deciding who gets a title match? This is why I complain. And it's not just AEW, it's WWE too. Because WWE, they got a lot of people who are getting championship matches out of fucking thin air. Kevin Owens literally had a championship match handed to him by Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes literally pulled a championship opportunity out of his ass to give to Kevin Owens. Same thing with Sami and Gunther. You think that Sami Zayn is worthy of challenging Gunther for the World Championship? No. He just lost the Intercontinental Championship. It's the same thing here. Yuka Sakazaki's not worthy after one win. Maybe if she's gotten 4, 5, 6, 7 wins, maybe I would be singing a different tune. But no. So we get this match next week. At this point, we need Mina Shirakawa back. That's the match for Wrestle Dream. They played a very nice video package for Nigel and Bryan. Listen, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to enjoy that match next week. I will. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to enjoy it. But it still doesn't make any sense. It was a match made out of desperation because they realized that they were not selling tickets for Grand Slam. Jon Moxley, he came out with Marina Shafir, Claudio, and Private Party attacked them. But ultimately it was of no use. Alex Abrahantes and Commander came out, and they dispatched of them very, very quickly. So Moxley took a hammer. Right? Moxley took a hammer, and Moxley, he was talking to Private Party as Claudio was holding Isaiah Cassidy down. And Moxley said, Private Party, you've been here for 5 years and you're still stuck in the same position. Maybe you need a little friction. Consider this a gift. And Moxley took a hammer and bashed Isaiah Cassidy's hand with it. Completely just fucking bashed it. And then we had Darby coming out. He just busted right past Claudio. Moxley and Darby stood in the ring face to face. Darby went to hit Moxley with the skateboard before Moxley got out of dodge. Darby said, I am going to run through you and I will be the next AEW World Champion. So now we got a little bit of substance there. Although Moxley will not be losing to Darby. It's going to be Moxley and Bryan at Wrestle Dream. Is Moxley going to win? The answer is no. The answer is no. Ultimately, it is going to be Darby that fucks over Jon Moxley. It will be Darby that fucks over Jon Moxley, and ultimately, we will be seeing Darby and Moxley go into a program. I'm not sure who Darby's going to recruit, but Bryan will be moving on to Christian Cage. Christian and Bryan is your match at Full Gear, and then at World's End, it's Bryan and Hangman, because it fits the World's End build. It fits the World's End build, and we will see Bryan inevitably lose the championship to Hangman. Ricochet and the Beast Mortos. Ricochet is looking pretty damn good here on AEW TV. Ricochet and Mortos had a very good match. Ricochet ends up winning with the leaping reverse DDT that he calls Vertigo. And that right there was enough to give Ricochet the win. He has had 3 wins in a row. So it looks like we are going to be in for one hell of a classic. We're going to be in for one hell of a classic when we see Ricochet and Ospreay on the Dynamite October 2nd episode. Now, the one issue that I have here is the fact that Tony Khan, and I don't really want to spend too much time on this because I've been talking about this for a good while now. Obviously, you already know the deal with the structure. You know the deal with the marketing. The big issue here is the fact that Tony Khan, he's booking these matches, right? He booked Nigel and Bryan. Now he's booking Ricochet and Will Ospreay. He's booking these matches out of desperation to sell tickets. He is hot-shotting these matches, booking them in scenarios merely to sell tickets rather than build up and book these matches in the light of, you know what? I am going to build these matches up over time. We're going to have structure. We're going to have different matches in place, and we're actually going to develop some substance rather than just throwing them out there for the sake of, hey, we're looking to throw them out there just for the sake of selling tickets and drawing ratings. That's a fucking problem. I'm sorry. That is a major, and I mean a major fucking issue. That should not be the case. We should not be in a scenario where we are seeing matches booked for the sake of selling tickets. You should be booking these matches at certain times because it makes sense. Right now, it doesn't make sense. You're hot-shotting this just to sell tickets. And I'm sorry, but that is not right. It's not right. I'm sorry. Now, am I going to sit back and enjoy it? Of course I am. Of course I am, because this is what AEW is about. This is going to be a match that embodies what AEW is about. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this was the right time for it. You could have done something else for the 5-year anniversary. If anything, you could have did Will Ospreay and whoever else. You could have saved Will Ospreay and Pac for the 5-year anniversary. If anything, I would have loved to have seen Kazuchika Okada and fucking Konosuke Takeshita at the 5-year anniversary. Why not Mercedes Moné defending the TBS championship against someone else at the 5-year? Why didn't they build up Saraya versus Mercedes yet? That right there is a big money feud that they haven't even tapped into yet. I don't get it. Tony Schiavone, he interviewed Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Adam Page. By the way, Adam Page is another one. Great shit going on with Hangman Adam Page. He said that there were dozens of others who need to pay, and these people supported Swerve. I am surrounded by these people who would cheer Swerve Strickland when he was locked in a cage with his fate. I'm reminded of 4 months when I was home and I hear another voice cheering Swerve on. I hear a voice coming from the commentary desk, and he eyes up Tony Schiavone. So now he's blaming Tony Schiavone for cheering on Swerve Strickland. Out comes Jeff Jarrett. Page went after him. Page and Jarrett, they brawled around ringside. The refs and the officials came out to separate them. Jarrett took the mic and said, "You know what? I'll be damned if I let you put one finger on Tony Schiavone. I'm going to make a promise to you. Somehow, some way, someplace, the last outlaw is going to kick your ass," says Jeff Jarrett. You know what? I don't even have an issue with this. This is actually a decent little bridge feud for Hangman Page. Now, it all depends on where exactly they're going to go with Hangman leading up to World's End, because Bryan, he's got to take care of Moxley, he's got to take care of Nigel McGuinness, and he's got to take care of Christian Cage. And once he takes care of those guys, then he can go and focus on Hangman Page. The question is, what exactly are they going to do after the Jeff Jarrett program? I don't know. Swerve Strickland is apparently rumored to come back sooner rather than later. But the problem is, I don't know. Are they really going to be in a scenario where they're going to revert back to Swerve and Hangman immediately after Swerve comes back? I'm sorry, but that's not right. It's not right at all. Maybe he goes after Darby. I don't know. Maybe we see the Mogul Embassy get involved, although the Mogul Embassy are heels. I don't know who else Page is trying to go after. I don't. Really don't. Maybe it's Bryan himself. Maybe they just go straight to Page and Bryan. I don't know. Main event. Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, and Konosuke Takeshita versus the Elite. This was a great main event match, ultimately resulting in Ospreay and Fletcher winning with the Coriolis tribute to the United Empire. Does that mean that Mark Davis is coming back? We'll have to wait and see. Now, like I said, it wasn't necessarily a bad episode, but there is clearly a lack of energy. The lack of structure is still very prominent. I expect a big show. On Wednesday because we got Dynamite Grand Slam in Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York City. The last 3 Grand Slams, they all delivered. The last 3 Grand Slams were some of the best Dynamites we've ever seen. First Grand Slam will go down as fucking legendary. Absolutely fucking legendary. The second Grand Slam, I was in attendance for. The second ever Grand Slam. And as far as the second Grand Slam goes, I remember it very well. I really do. I remember that second Grand Slam very, very, very well. And I remember that Grand Slam specifically. I remember that Grand Slam perhaps had the best bell-to-bell action out of any Grand Slam. Although, Grand Slam number 3, I have to tell you, Grand Slam number 3, man, that MJF Samoa Joe feud was fucking something. That MJF Samoa Joe program, man, that right there was fucking beautiful. That was probably one of the most underrated matches of the year. MJF Samoa Joe Part 1. The second one was okay. But that first one in Arthur Ashe Stadium, my God, fucking brilliant. Ladies and gents, we're clocking in at around 2 hours and 10 minutes. That wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into the video. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. Do not forget to send in your super chats, your super stickers, and your super thanks. Do not forget whatsoever to get your tickets for Battle in the Borough. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the links in the description. And, of course, get your DJ Storms merch whenever you have the chance. I am DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update. But before we get out of here, very important question that all must answer. People. Who runs the IWC? You need to tell me who runs the IWC. It's very vital that you do so. Matter of fact, I'll tell you who runs the IWC. Who but DJ motherfucking Storms? And don't you ever forget it.
Retribution! Oh yeah, we want retribution! Oh yeah, we want retribution! we want retribution.